What up, though, y'all? It's Chris. Appreciate you connecting with me while I'm out here. I'm not on the run getting things done. I'm not stepping. I'm sitting here waiting on my fish sandwich, my fried whiting sandwich over here at King Fish. I could have went to the other place, but it was just more convenient to get over here. So here I am. But let's talk about Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom's got some sort of podcast now, and he had Charlie Kirk on there, the conservative guy. I'm not really a big fan of his. I mean, he says some things that make sense, but I don't know. Even though I consider myself, especially nowadays, to be conservative, I don't really resonate with everybody on the right. Some of them I like more than others. Some of them I'm still like, I don't know. So I'm not really the biggest fan of his. I don't dislike him, but I just really don't follow him like that. But he was who Gavin Newsom decided to have on for his podcast. So it was a bit of an interesting ping pong back and forth, talking about various different political issues, of course. By Newsom being a governor and Kirk being a political commentator. And one place I didn't expect this to go was to touch on women's sports and how, men have no business playing women's sports. Not only did that come up, but Newsom agreed that men had an unfair advantage. Now, this is amusing for a few reasons. One, Newsom tends to drink all the leftist Kool-Aid. I mean, it's on his watch that we had male prisoners over in the women's prisons. It's been on his watch that we've had all the different trans stuff going, the money kickbacks happening out there in California. And he really didn't seem too upset about schools in California, especially having trans athletes that were beating the girls. He didn't seem all that bothered by it, and now he's saying that it's unfair. What a 180. And this, of course, is going to ruffle his base. I'm sure it already has. I just haven't been seeing any of the news feed about it, but I'm sure that him saying this already has ruffled his base. But what a time to be alive, where likely by his own base or by many other people on the left, he's going to be considered a right-wing extremist by saying such a thing. I mean, think about that. Boys are boys and girls are very extreme. Like, that's a very extreme right thing to say. Boys should not be in the girls' room is an extreme right-wing thing to say. Men should not be competing in women's sports is an extreme right-wing thing to say. Saying that men have a strength and bone frame advantage. These are controversial things to say. So him leaning into that and being like, I agree, it's unfair. This is very interesting. I don't know if he has any future, political ambitions, or if this podcast is his future. He sees that politics probably isn't going to be something that he can move forward in for too much longer, and he's trying to do this podcast. I don't know. But saying things like that, if he does want to have a future in politics, it's not going to be on the left, because the moment you step out of line, and this is when you're dealing with the left, I guess the right too, but I see it to a much more extreme extent when you're dealing with the left. The moment you step out of line and say anything that the hive mind doesn't like, you become ostracized. That hasn't happened for him yet. He's the governor still, so they can't do that to him yet. But please believe, when it comes time to make moves in the future, they're going to remember that he had the audacity to say that men should compete with men and leave women to compete with women. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to get in here and see if my whiting sandwich is ready, though. So I'll holler at y'all soon. Peace.